So now we're going to be flying SAS Scandinavian Airlines over to Oslo. It'll be my first time with them, but from the reviews that I've seen on YouTube, I don't expect a whole lot, but we'll see how it goes. So this was my first time on SAS, and I'd heard a lot of good about them, and I was interested to see what it was going to be like. We were flying the category SAS Plus Pro, which is close as they can get, I guess, to business class, but definitely not business class in my mind. With the Plus Pro, what you get is a bag that can go under your seat, a carry-on bag, a couple of checked bags. You get Fast Track where it's available, a lounge. We are in London Heathrow, and we did have access to the lounge. Free seat selection, you get meals and drinks, and priority boarding. It kind of sounded good, and as I walked down the endless jetway trying to get to our aircraft, it gave me plenty of time to think about what the heck it was going to look like. Finally, after about 3 hours of walking, I could have walked to Oslo, I arrived at the plane. Only to have a strap up in front of me holding me back. Kind stewardess came on out, she released the strap and said, "Come aboard." At least I think that's what she said. But anyway, greeted by some real nice smiles, and I looked at the cattle car I was going to be riding in. I mean, these seats, all very nice, very in good condition, they were definitely tight. For a guy who's 6'4", it's a little bit painful having your knees shoved up into the seat in front of you. I would say it's a little tight in here.
Oh, it's a short flight.
So the wife's telling me it's going to be a short flight, but it was 2 hours. That wasn't short. But I did watch all the overhead bins get filled up very, very quickly, and was glad I was the first person on board the craft. Definitely that bin space got filled up quick. So the boarding on the flight, it did take quite a while. Even though the flight wasn't totally full, there were a lot of people coming on, as you could see. So after, what seemed like eternity, we were ready for takeoff, heading out of London Heathrow, on our way to Oslo. Luckily, it was a very, very beautiful day in London, which seems to be rare whenever I'm there. I was looking forward to seeing the meal selection, and this is what I got. I got a box filled with raw fish. Yeah, they call it smoked salmon. I'm not a raw fish eater, don't really care for it, but I was kind of hungry, so I started trying to gag it down. Looks like grabbing fish. It's smoked salmon. Let's see how it is. So I started my fight with the bag here. They had it in plastic, which almost nobody can get into. I managed to get it open, and they gave me a wooden fork and a wooden knife. Wooden utensils. That was a new one for me. She came by and topped off a little glass of wine for me, which kind of tasty. It helped wash down the raw fish and kind of made me feel a little bit better. And I saw many that they had for the people in the back if they wanted to order stuff. I kind of wish I would have went with what's on the menu. But the drinks, alcoholic beverages were all complimentary, included in our Plus Pro. Snacks, other things you could have. But at that point in time, I was done with it. I just wanted to sit back and relax and get the flight over with. I have to say, it was definitely not comfortable being crammed in these tiny seats here. But that's just the way it goes. As you can see, the plane wasn't totally full, and the service on it was absolutely excellent, I do have to say. After about a couple hours, we got over Oslo and headed in for our descent. Overall, my review of the flight is good except for the meal. The meal was absolutely terrible, in my opinion. And I had a return flight from Stockholm back down to London and SAS, hoping I would have a little bit better luck with the meal on that one. I didn't. I got the same exact raw salmon again with a wooden fork and a wooden knife. Not something I was very pleased with, but I did have the bulkhead seating, and that made all the difference in the world. That made for a very pleasant flight. The stewardesses on board, flight attendants, they were absolutely outstanding, friendly as could be, and quick with service. So overall, SAS up for my first flight, they seemed pretty good, even though it was a little bit difficult to get comfortable. Other than that, I would definitely recommend flying them again. I appreciate you watching Pat's Adventures, and if you have an inkling, please take time to subscribe and hit that like button also. Thank you very much. So if you are coming to Oslo, this is where the baggage claim is. They got an entire supermarket here with everything from soup to nuts, chocolate, you name it. And here is the Scandinavian Airlines baggage claim.